Good morning, lovely ladies. How are you today? I'm just going to follow up a little bit from the video that I did yesterday to introduce the wild woman phase, which is where we're at the moment. This is where the moon is waning. So I'm here in my little online studio. This is where this is something I dreamed of like forever, to have my own yoga space, and yeah, finally it's here. So yeah, so this is where I do all of my videos and my online classes from as well. So this week we're in the waning moon. So these are the cards that you get for as part of the the journey with it. Wild Woman, these are the visuals. So a lot of the visuals that I've worked with for the cards and for my work at the moment are really inspired by the tribal dance, because I love all of this. I just love it, and it really inspires me. So this is the invocation. This is an altar card, so you get a little altar card for just to put up on your your altar with a cat, just to remind you. It's just a really good reminder of where we're at in the wheel and where we are in the the cycle. So I've only worked with 4 moon phases. I know there are 8, and I've only worked with 4 really because I just want to simplify it, so it's just so it's easy to follow, rather than breaking it down and making it confusing. Because really, what I really feel at the moment is that we start to drop out of our head a little bit more into our heart. So we're not thinking too much. It's simple. It's easy to integrate into our lives, and it doesn't cause too much headiness. So this is a lovely invocation that comes with that, and then the other little card, and it said that it is also supported with a book that I'm actually doing the manuscript for today. I've got the first draft of that, and I'm just going through all of that today, so that should hopefully be out soon. But this is the other card. So it tells you obviously the waning moon, and also that we're in wild woman phase now. The element is air. Now I'm actually an earth element myself, and so when we're in air element, I can get really scatty. I find it a bit harder to ground my energy, so I do need to do a little bit more grounding. I can be a bit forgetful, a bit all over the place, especially if you're doing any sort of training with me. I tend to forget stuff. Like, it just goes out my head. So the wild woman phase in our system is actually the perimenopause. So this is where we might be fluctuating a lot with our hormone levels. We can feel a bit wild. I can remember when when I was first in that perimenopausal phase. I started in that when I was around about 43. My sleep was getting affected, my moods were definitely getting affected, and I was overworking as well, so that was really making everything a lot worse. I was drinking alcohol as well at the time, so I was, I loved my wine, a glass of wine, and that was actually also making things a lot worse. So I can kind of remember that quite well, moving into that phase. So again, when we know what's going on, we can acknowledge it. And I wish I knew all this stuff when I was going through it, because I thought I was going pretty mental at the time, because I didn't have 2 days where I felt the same really, and yeah, it was becoming a problem. So the invitations really for this, or the inspiration, the energy, and the moon tone. So it's not so much, it can be about the moon and where we're at in the cycle, and which sign is present, because there's always going to be that part of it as well. But for me, it's just about how it feels. So the feeling is of wildness. So if we feel into what wildness means to us, often to be wild, I think, is actually to feel free. Now, when I've had my own numbers done, my hidden number is a 5, and a 5 is the number of freedom. So if I am not taking time to create freedom in this week, so yesterday, like, I went to the coast because I just needed to feel the air and I needed to feel the spaciousness, then you can start to feel really constricted by your circumstances. So since I've been working with this, I look at the month ahead from new moon. I look at the month ahead. What have I got coming up? Where is my energy going to be? And how can I best kind of plan the month ahead? I have a wall planner and a diary and a moon diary as well, which is really good to get hold of as well. So wildness, breathe, take time to breathe, to reflect. How has the month been? How have you been since new moon? It's energy in. So we're starting to draw our energy in. It's actually the divine feminine energy that's guiding here. And it's also a time of integration. So like I say, looking at the month that's gone, what's shown up for you, what have been lessons, challenges, what's been easy, what have you loved, and really integrating, feeling into what has been helpful, what hasn't, and where can I then maybe create a ritual for letting go. This is really important. So the oils, if you work with essential oils, for this particular phase, again, during the container, you will get the oils as well, a little small bottle of oil to work with, is geranium oil. Love that. The oil of love and trust. My gift to you is equilibrium, so it just gives you that feeling of balance. Lavender. My gift to you is contemplation and calm communication and intuition. So again, it just brings us into that, the wild woman is moving towards the wise woman. So we're looking towards, really feeling into our inner wisdom. And then ylang ylang, I love this oil. The oil of dreaminess and wonder. My gift to you is to awaken the wildness within. So I just love those. So they're on the back of that card. Now also, just going on from that, is the goddess Kali. Now I've created, well, it's going to be a yoga training actually next year, but also what I realised was I love working with the Hindu goddesses, and they very much correlate with these energies too. And so for this particular element, I've chose Kali for that. Now I also wanted to make some visuals that were also quite like Western as well, like for now, because I love all of the deities, I love all of the Indian culture, but I wanted to make it a little bit more now, like how we are now, and something we relate to. So goddess Kali also, her energy is wild, like she's wild, and not like, not like crazy wild, but it's just this wildness, this connection. So we're connected to the earth, we're connected to the moon, we're connected to the seasons, and that for me is what wildness is. Really being in reverence of nature and how she guides us. So the other thing with this particular phase is that if we haven't rested, and this has actually been quite a thing for me as well, but if we haven't rested in new moon and contained our energy, so energy likes to be respected, it likes to be conserved. So this way of living that we've been kind of conditioned into, of this always over giving, overdoing, work, it's like as if we would be in constant summer, and if we were living in constant summer, we would just burn out. So there's an invitation to really have an awareness of that as well. Now the other thing with this, and this is, again, has been quite a something that I've been affected by, is that if I don't rest, if I don't have time to rest and plan out and give energy where it's needed, when I come into wild woman and also a little bit into sacred woman in the full moon, is I can start going into self-sabotage and comparison. So just starting to go into that slight comparison, like, oh God, she's doing it way better than me. Why am I doing this? Everybody's doing it better and all of that stuff. So I think there's a real invitation as we tune into the individuality, that we are individual. Like we're really, I think, moving into a time of energy, but also into a time of not one size fits all anymore. You know what? Not one prescription fits all. We're all different. We're all unique. And so when we start to really own that and own our individuality, then that that comparison, all of that kind of goes out the window. But I really wanted to share with you a beautiful reading as well today, because this has been, I love readings, and in all my trainings, all my circles, everything that I do, we always have inspiring readings that really touch your heart, really. So some of the people that have inspired me are Lynette Allen. Of course, we've been writing books and things with Lynette. Her work is very beautiful. Donna Ashworth, I adore. I love her work for women. Maya Luna also, I love her work. But I came across just recently this beautiful reading by a guy called John Rodell, and this I can't actually remember the book, but I believe that while he was writing some of these readings, he was in quite a deep depression, and potentially quite suicidal at the time. So I wanted to share this with you because it was something that really touched my heart, and I think sometimes there's quite a few readings. Orion Mountain Dreamer, I think The Invitation was one of the first readings that ever really brought this feeling of, oh my God, I really connect with that. And this is another one of them. So I'll just share it with you. So if you want to just sit down and have a little breath for yourself, just close your eyes, and I'd like to share this with you. So it's called Dear You by John Rodell. Dear you, if you don't like the way you look, it's probably because you have chosen the wrong mirror to look at yourself in. Stop using other people as a mirror to see your reflection in, especially if that other person is an arsehole. Arseholes make the worst mirrors. They only want to reflect your blemishes and your weaknesses and your fault lines and your sins. Don't blame them for making you feel bad. You are the one looking to them to tell you how to look. Of course, they will tell you that you're ugly. Of course, they will tell you you aren't enough. They are arseholes. What did you expect? While we're at it, stop using your bank account as a mirror. It's a liar. It doesn't really show you who you really are. Neither does your car, or your grades, or your awards, or your Instagram, or your past mistakes, or your diagnosis, or your late bills, or your perceived failures. None of those things make very good mirrors. If you want to know how you actually look, I suggest that you hold a baby for a bit. Pay attention to how a baby looks at you. To a baby, you are a garden of a million wildflowers. You are a giant. You are an ancient warrior, protecting them from monsters and uncomfortable rashes. You fill up their sky like a brilliant supernova. To a baby laying in your arms, you are both the cradle and the lullaby. A baby will gaze at you with wide eyes and an uncontrollable smile, because they have just come from heaven and they know divinely crafted beauty when they see it. They see the miracle in you. They see the miracle in you. They see the miracle in you. Babies make the best mirrors. Look at yourself the way a baby looks at you. For too long, you have let dirty and broken shards of glass tell you who you are. Their reflection is corrupt. Stop trusting them. Let the innocent show you who you are. They see your light. They see you for who you are. Capable, strong, beautiful, burning, blooming, becoming. In the time you have left, be kind to yourself and choose what reflections you believe with the utmost care. See you in September. You're going to make it. To see the leaves change, I swear it. Love your soul. By John Rodell. So I hope you loved that. I love that reading. It's so beautiful as a reminder, you know, to really honour yourself as the uniqueness that you are. So have the most beautiful day, and I'll possibly see you again tomorrow. We'll see. I'm actually pushing myself very much out of my comfort zone by doing these videos. But I hope you loved it. I love doing it for you. So take care. See you soon. Bye.